guys, today we're going to be going over 9mm conversions for 40 caliber Glocks. This is going to apply for the Glock 24s, the Glock 35s, the Glock 22s, Glock 23, which is what we're going to be doing here today, as well as the Glock 27. What I'm going to do during this how-to is, first off, I'm going to show you what it looks like firing 40 caliber, which is exactly what we're just doing right there. We're going to keep doing after I stop talking here. We're going to go ahead and just drop a 9mm barrel in there, see how the ejection pattern looks, see what you can expect out of that, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a full conversion where I change all the internal parts over to 9mm parts, as well as the conversion barrel, and show you how that looks. At the end, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, part by part, and then discuss some of the pros and cons, and that'll do it. But hoping to answer some of those questions that a lot of people have about these conversions. We'll go ahead and run a few more rounds through it in 40 caliber so you guys can see what that looks like. We went ahead and dropped the barrel in there. All the other parts are exactly the same, 40 caliber parts that come with the gun. This barrel here is the threaded Lone Wolf 40-9 conversion barrel. We're going to go ahead and put a few rounds through, show you how the ejection looks, show you how the gun handles, see if we have any reliability issues, which I don't expect. But we'll go ahead and do it, see how it looks, and then we'll get into the rest of the review. That's not too bad in terms of ejection, but we're going to go ahead and change out all the parts and see what it looks like then. So we went ahead and swapped out all the internals. Essentially now this gun is a 9mm Glock. We used factory Glock parts always, which we'll show you next coming up in the video. But all 9mm, the only exception is the slide and now the conversion barrel. But let's see how this puppy ejects now using the same ammo, which by the way is 115 grain Blazer aluminum cased. So let's get into it. You can see there already the ejection's a little bit stronger. Before it was going more up, now it's going out more right. We'll go ahead and see if that stays consistent. There you go, last round locked open as well. We're going to get into the how-to portion of doing the conversion. So what you want to do there is go ahead and pull your slide back, inspect your chamber, make sure it's safe. Go ahead and field strip the pistol like we normally would. For those of you guys that are looking for a how-to detail strip video for your Glocks, I do have a link. I'll put that in there because I'm kind of going to go over some of it here, but not all of it. Alright, what you're going to do now, you're going to go ahead and take your striker, pull it back, and there's a little plastic sleeve. Go ahead and push that down. Push out your rear cover while keeping it covered so that way the springs in there don't fly out. Take your firing pin out, take your extractor depressor plunger and spring out, and go ahead and push your firing pin safety, and your extractor will come out. You're going to go ahead and replace that with the 9mm version. Go ahead and put that in there, push it down, so that way it locks in place and you're good to go there. I will put all the part numbers in here on the bottom for you guys, for those of you guys that are looking for specifics on that. You're going to go ahead and take your extractor depressor plunger, which is this little white piece here, and take that out. Be very careful, it likes to fly around. Take that out, and we're going to put our 9mm version in there. Quick reference there for you guys, the 9mm ones are black, the 40 cal are white, just something to keep in mind. Go ahead and put that in there. Put your striker firing pin back in there. Put your your rear cover back on. If I'm not getting all this on video, guys, again, I do have a very detailed video of this out there that I have linked in previously in the video. Alright, so that's the slide. You can go ahead and take your 9mm barrel. This one here is the Lone Wolf threaded version, so that way I can use my suppressors on it. But you don't need a threaded version. Go ahead and you're just going to put that in there. And put your spring in there, like I said earlier, I believe. The Gen 2s and the Gen 3s are going to use the same spring, but if you guys are using the Gen 4, everything applies, just the spring number is going to be a little bit different. Alright, and now for the frame. What you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and take the ejector out. You don't need to actually replace the entire trigger housing. You can just straight pull that ejector out and replace it, but I find it easier to just go ahead and take it all out, especially for new guys who are new to the Glock platform and new to these conversions. It just seems to help everything be a little bit smoother with them, but again, you don't need to. But we're going to do it here and show you how to do it. We're going to pop the locking block off here. After pressing out all your pins, obviously you want to go in order, so 1, 2, 3, that's the order you want to do it in. 2 and 3 actually don't matter, but you always want to make sure you do the number 1 pin first. Go ahead and take your slide lock out, pull your trigger group out, and you're going to take your trigger, take that off, and take your spring off. And what you're going to do there is, as you can see, it's S-shaped, so you're just going to pull it off where it mounts there on the trigger housing. You're going to take a connector out because we're going to reuse it, so go ahead and push it out from the back. Put your connector on your 9mm connector, and again the 9mm one is going to be marked 336, and that's for the Gen 2 and the Gen 3 guns, guys. And the 40 cal ejector is going to be marked 1882, I believe. Yep, I just looked at it. 1882 it is. And go ahead and put your spring back on there on your trigger housing. Pull it up and over. We're going to go ahead and put it back in the on the trigger with trigger bar. Put that in. Go ahead and drop that in the gun. If I'm going fast, again guys, reference the video I did on the detail strip. But I'm trying to kind of cut it down there for overall length here for the video. Go ahead and put that in. Put your number 1 pin back in. Like so. Always from the right to the left in terms of when you're putting these back in, guys. And go ahead and put your slide stop in. And again, put the pin in from the right to the left. Number 2 pin. And then put our trigger housing pin back in there. And that is going to be the entire process. Go ahead and put your slide back on, and now you have fully converted to 9mm. One thing I missed earlier in the video is that if you're doing the conversion from 40 to 9, you do also have to switch magazines. I didn't bring that up earlier, I should have. But moving on. Once you do the conversion like I just did there, basically you're running a 9mm gun. The only difference at that point is your breech face. Some guys are going to say, well, your breech face is a 40 caliber breech face and you're running 9mm, so that could cause problems. Okay, I've never seen it cause an issue, I'll put it that way. I've seen a lot of people come through classes with their guns converted to 9mm, run thousands of rounds through them, never have an issue. I've ran thousands of rounds through it, never had an issue. But if that's something you're concerned with, hey, go ahead and get the whole top slide and make it happen. But what I wanted to do here is show guys the how to do it. The differences in terms of if you're just going to drop a barrel in, how it looks, versus if you're going to do the full conversion and how it looks. This gun here runs pretty well with just a barrel, but some don't. Just be aware of that. Some are going to have really erratic ejections. This one doesn't really, but some do. As always, guys, though, if you have any questions about the process and how to do this, go ahead and let me know. As I said before, all the model numbers are going to be in the bottom of the video. Part numbers, I should say, are going to be in the bottom of the video for those of you guys looking for it. And I hope I answered some questions that a lot of you guys have out there. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you in the next video, guys.